So trigger warning.
Get out of the car! Get on your belly!
There's a commercial coming up. Trigger warning, there's a commercial.
Get on your belly!
You were getting my loser.
We're trying to turn this around on me.
It's just before 6 p.m. in Alliance, Ohio, where police were called to a courthouse parking lot after a man reported a woman trying to block him from filing a...
So the man is in the white car. She has the car clearly blocking him from being able to back up. Now, I guess technically he could go over the curb. That's not good on your rims. But he's sitting in the car. He wants to go to the courthouse to file charges on her. And she not only blocked him with the car, but apparently she was like pestering him and was at the window and stuff. So she is sitting right here pretending like she ain't doing shit. She's sitting right here pretending like she ain't doing shit. And they're going to say, hey, we want to talk to you. And she's acting like she's on the phone. Oh, excuse me, officer. You're being very rude right now. I have an important phone call with a diplomat. I'm talking to the ambassador of Pakistan right now. Excuse me, officer. I am doing something very important.
A police report.
You can roll the window down or I can pull you out. It's up to you. Roll your window down or I'm going to pull you out. Roll your window down or I'm pull... 48 headquarters. I'm going to need another car. Roll your window down. If you don't... Okay. I'm going to arrest you for obstructing. I am going to arrest you. I promise you I am. It's... If you don't exit the vehicle, I am...
You're not touching me.
If you don't exit the vehicle, I am arresting you.
Hurry up and get here.
You can call whoever you want. If they interfere, they're going to jail too.
Okay, so you can watch the rest of this video. Now she's gonna record. I'm gonna record you. I'm recording you. So she's acting a fool. She's being a criminal, terrorist, oppressor, and she just keeps on acting a fool. Eventually, the little sister does get there, and then they also get backup, and then the backup is a female. Let's see here. Let's play from right here.
So you were coming here to file a complaint? Yeah. And she tried preventing you?
Yes.
How did she try to prevent you?
She's blocking me in. She's trying to...
Okay.
Back with the suspect, another officer looks to calm down the situation.
No. Get him away from me. Get him away from me now. They already beat me the fuck a week ago. Do not let him near me.
I'll be out with 48.
My foot's still... Do not let them near me.
Who? Who? These people?
No, my previous cop and other cops. They tackled me a week ago. Do not let them near me.
Okay. Why'd they tackle you a week ago?
Because I called them because my son's dad's been trying to take my kids from me.
Okay.
So you see how she's crying, and initially she's got the female cop on her side. The female cop is listening to her, eating up her bullshit.
Okay.
He needs to stay away from me, please.
Hold your son.
Just on the phone with the sheriff.
Now, eventually, she's going to pull away. She's going to back up or move forward or something. And she's crying. You don't understand. And you know what? She might have came from trauma.
If I'm able...
I asked them if I could talk to my son.
Okay.
See, that's my sister. Do not let him touch her. Do not let him touch her. Do not let him touch her.
You notice that? Do not let him touch her. As if, like, he's just going around sexually assaulting everybody. She called the sister to... Basically, he called for backup. She called for backup, too. And so the sister's going to... the younger sister is going to... She's 31. I think I read 31. Kayla. Her name is Kayla. I'll just use Kayla because... This is triggering as fuck, but in a way, this opens up a conversation.
He's not going to touch her.
Do not let him touch her. No, tell him to stay away from me.
Officers
Tell him
later
to stay away
identified the
from me.
suspect
Don't
seen
touch
here
her.
as 31-year-old Kayla Ryder.
Okay.
And as you just heard, she has a visitor who tries to join in on the fun, before this situation
Tries to join
takes
a
an
little fun.
unexpected turn.
Narrators can be such assholes, huh?
This isn't your business. You go over there, or you'll go to jail too. Go over there, you're going to jail too.
And then you see how she immediately puts up the phone to her head. She's the same. She's the exact same. They're going to give her a pass. She's walking up to, her sister and I guess want to hear what her side of things and then just believe her side of things. But he's saying, no, you need to back up. And then she acts like she's talking on the phone and she's going to yell at him later on. She's going to be put in the back of the cop car and they're going to ask her, did you learn your lesson? And then they said that she was going to get arrested, and then she starts like hysterically crying. Not crying because she's afraid for her safety, but she wants to get out of it. Both of these females know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get out of the situation. They started the situation. They initiated the situation. It almost seemed, these are Karens, right? They're Israel. They act like they're the victims, but they're the ones who's perpetuating the crimes.
What's your name?
Stay away from me.
Here's the deal. You can either come out of the car or I'm going to break out the window.
Why are you guys trying to arrest me?
I'm going to break out the window if you don't exit. No, you can go over there.
Why are you guys trying to arrest me?
All right, let's just go ahead and keep going forward. Let's get to the exciting part.
No, stay.
So she decided to
No,
drive.
you can go over there. If you don't back up, you're not standing behind us.
Okay, I'm not standing behind you.
So she's acting like it's just semantics. I'm standing off to the side of you, like to the corner left over here. It's not behind you. And he told her to, step back away from her. And now she came right back. So she knows what she was doing.
No!
And then you just heard the sister, the younger sister, so what, she's 25 or something, the 25-year-old sister screaming, right? Like something had happened to her, but basically I guess she's seeing her older sister fuck up and she's trying to sort of cover the situation up. Now, if these is all men, this is a female cop. We're going to see the female cop's perspective. And they're going to say, she said something like, you almost ran into me or something like that. It's wanton endangerment is what it is. That's the charge I've heard. Wanton endangerment is a felony, and it's just basically you're swinging a weapon around. You're using a weapon that could cause bodily injury, major bodily injury, or even, death. So you're swinging a weapon around without regard of who it could hurt.
48 headquarters. She's trying to take off. We got a pursuit. She almost just struck Olivia.
Well, not exactly, right? So she's not really taking off. She just kind of pulled up to the thing, so acting like she wasn't blocking him in. And he thought, oh, she's taking off, like, oh, she's just going to run away. But the female cop was right next to her, and so it wasn't that she tried to run her over, but she aggressively drove away, not with no regard of her well-being.
Now she's got the collar pinned in.
If she would have just jerked the wheel, she could have hit the officer, but she was driving past the officer.
Stay the back.
And then the younger sister's like, let me just come in there. And he's like, oh. And there she is screaming again. What's she screaming for? It's Kayla's the one doing all the fucking stupid shit. She's the one being a criminal fuck. She's the one driving here and there and everywhere. And so the little sister, I think, is providing cover and screaming and I guess trying to get somebody else to, help save Kayla. Somebody help save my criminal older sister. And
Get out of the car! 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 On the ground! On the ground! On the ground!
later on when they put the little sister in the back seat of the car, she's like, you don't understand, officer. I thought you had a gun and you walked up to her 2 times and there was no gun, there's no taser, but she lies. Immediately just starts lying.
Face on your belly! Get on your belly! Get on your belly! Get on your Get on your belly. Get on your belly. Taser, taser. Get on your belly. Taser.
Officers tase Kayla after she allegedly
Okay, so they had, you saw her, drive forward, and then she had backed up, and I don't know if he hit the car or not, but she definitely hit the car in front of her. She drove forward and then hit the car in front of her, because it's like, I could block you in, to the man, right, to the father of her child. I could block you in and prevent you from doing what you're going to do, but you're not going to do the same shit to me. This is hypocrisy.
rammed into two cruisers and nearly hit an officer. Let's rewind and take a look from a different angle.
So this is from the female's perspective.
They're trying to take me away again. Don't let them take me away.
I wonder what triggered her to start driving.
You're either your window's gonna break out, you're gonna come out.
So you saw what happened, right? So she says, no, you're going to get arrested. Either we're going to break your window, we're going to pull you out. And then she's, oh, no, you're not. Puts it in drive, drives forward. She's all slanted and then backs up aggressively. Did she try to hit her? I think that's wanton endangerment. I think wanton endangerment is perfect. It's not so much it's attempted vehicular manslaughter or anything like that. I think that she's driving crazily without being completely crazy. So I'm swinging, I got this gun and I'm just kind of pointing it over here, pointing it over there. Maybe I might hurt you. Maybe I might not. But ultimately, I want to scare you into thinking that I might do something to you in order to get you to back up. And then since she's a female, right, you might be able to have some sympathy with it being male cops versus a female or something. But how could you. So it's good that we got female police officers in order to stop the female criminals. Because women could just allege sexual assault. It's easy to just say something, even if the thing that they said isn't true. And with Hammurabi's code, so then she drives in front of it. And we're still hearing screams because she's driving forward, and then look. And then she's like, get away from me.
Get out of the car!
On the ground! On the ground!
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Face on your belly! Get on your belly!
Get on your belly!
Get on your
Get on
belly!
your stomach!
Get
Get
on
on
your
your stomach!
Get on your belly! Get on your belly! Taser! Taser! Get on your belly! Taser!
Get on.
Hey everybody, we're gonna get you.
Okay, let's go past this. Let's see, is there any more interesting things? When they're putting her in the car, she keeps talking. She doesn't stop talking. She wants to get out of it. And say, no, you're not. You're not gonna do this to me. You're not gonna do this to me.
There you go. Get in the car. Get in the car.
Don't let him touch me. You piece of. My hand's gonna break again.
Well,
Get away!
Life's choices.
No, are you kidding me?
And so she called him an abuser. You're an abuser. I just called you a fucking abuser. What are you going to do about that, right? So she's clearly being antagonistic and provoking, and she's escalating this shit. She's, I guess he's the one that wants to file the charges, but based on what? And I think who starts it definitely matters, because once you get people going, they just kind of keep on going and going. This is very triggering, because this is my damn childhood right here. This is, this is the South. This is actually Ohio, but Ohio's got those Confederate flags too. So this is the dirty South. I've seen this shit so many times. It's fucking gross.
Few words with that.
Just a second. Who are you to come interfere?
Let's listen to her in a second, but I want to mention another thing. When he had shoved her into the car because she was like, you're hurting my hand, you're doing this, you're doing that, get into the back seat. You're being arrested, and we're going to arrest you. We know you don't want to be arrested, but you have to be arrested because you're the one that's out of control right now. Now they have the little sister in the back seat. Listen to how she lies. I thought when you pointed the taser at the thing and then she's crying, so tough guy, right? She's a tough guy. She's a tough guy. And then when she knows that she's, in the back of a cruiser about to be arrested, then she's just I'm just a little girl. Well, which is it? You're a tough guy or you're just a sweet little girl?
I'm not saying that was your initial intention, but when we're dealing with her, what is you adding to the mix going to do? All this did was make me focus on you as well as focusing on her. And one of our officers almost just got hit by her car because she's nuts.
I got scared. I don't know what you had out on you, but when you pulled the first thing out, I thought you had a gun at her, so that's why I came forward. And I've never seen any live family members be shot or have a gun pulled out on them, so I'm sorry.
Fortunately, I've never shot anybody.
Okay, but I'm sorry I react like that. You have to understand, I've never seen anything like this, and this has been a lot on me.
I can
She's
imagine.
never seen anything
You
like this.
understand
This is
that
all
by
that they
this
fucking
situation,
do.
you're
This is
involved
all that they
in
do. There's probably been they're doing this shit
trips
the
and
whole
stuff
fucking
like
times, their entire lives.
Yeah.
No telling how many people they've been fucking over like
Is
this.
this a learning experience? Is this ever going to happen again? Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car. So, did you notice that too? Even when the cop gives her a break, says, you know, this has been a learning experience, so get out of the car. You get to go home. Your sister's going to get arrested, but you get to go home. But she was hysterically crying. That's passive aggressive. That I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. It's so passive aggressive. It's oh, you're crying, so you're sad, you're hurt, you're a damsel in distress. You're not a damsel in distress. You're hysterically crying because, you know, let me get away with my bullshit. Let me get away. Beware when the great God lets loose a thinker on this planet. Today I'm full of thoughts. Some Emerson. True conquest. True conquest is the causing the calamity to fade and disappear as an early cloud of insignificant result in a history so large in advance. And each man must do his own believing and his own dying. Martin Luther. Isn't it about time for we the people to draw ourselves, for we the people to draw ourselves a new circle, for us to sing ourselves, for us... Isn't it about time for we the people to draw ourselves a brand new circle, for us to sing for ourselves a new song? Have we ever even tried classical liberalism 101 yet? Classical liberalism is actually the conservative position. The liberalism, because we got elections and we got the freedoms and the capitalism, that's what we've been imposing on the rest of the world. That's who we've been for decades. So to maintain the status quo is to maintain this classical liberal society that we have. And I'm sure you guys have compiled your state's Bill of Rights with our nations. If you haven't compiled your state's Bill of Rights with your nations, how in the hell do you know what your civil liberties even are? Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free. So this asshole was so entitled, it wasn't even funny. They got it in quotes, entitled. Are you think? A little bit of entitlement? So I can understand that she's mad that her husband or ex-husband or her baby daddy is going to the police to file a report on her. But she's the one who's being a tough guy. She's the one being this mafioso figure. She's blocking him in, blocking his car, keeping him from getting out of his car, so blocking his door, treating him like he's a piece of shit. Oh, you love me, huh? Or you love me one time? Well, then I get to terrorize and oppress you and criminalize you until the day that you die. And if you look at all the shit that she was pulling, all the bullshit, she didn't shut up. And she kept on just trying to, get out of it. She just tried to it's like she thinks that the law doesn't apply to her and she gets to be a fucking bully and criminal. The thing with the bully, they'll keep on being a bully until somebody stops them. So she's trying to get like their sympathy or their empathy to get out of trouble. At first she doesn't roll down the window. Hey, excuse me, sir, I'm on the phone. You're the one that's being rude to me, Mr. Police Officer. I have an important phone call. And then instead of judging her on a curve, like she's just this little girl that doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, you're just a little girl just going to kindergarten. You don't really know what's going on. She's a grown-ass woman, 31 years old. Instead of grading her on a curve, let's grade her as a man. So a man is preventing her from leaving, right? So let's say she's a pitiful, skinny little, she's just a sweetheart. And so the man is stopping her from leaving. You're not going to leave me. And then blocking her with the car, preventing her from getting out of the vehicle. That's almost like imprisonment, false imprisonment. On top of, oppression and terrorizing and criminality. He's preventing her from filing a complaint. So if he was doing all that, you're telling me that the man would just get away with acting a fucking fool and preventing her from doing what she wants to do? She keeps on both. She's antagonizing, escalating, provoking, but she's also pretending that she's the victim. You don't understand. A week ago, they did the same thing. You psychos. You just tasered me, you psychos. You're an abuser, she said, and Kayla is acting scared. Don't let him hurt me. Don't let them hurt me. And you know, like, cops can be shitty. And especially if you're the man in that situation. That guy was so fucking cool, and she was just so over the top. It would be almost insane to put him away, you know, to put him in handcuffs and to arrest him and not to arrest her when she's the one still being hysterical. Even when the cops show up on the scene, she still can't control herself. She said that she had called the police last week and they threw me down on the ground. I'm a woman. I'm a white woman. I'm a Karen. I get to commit crimes. The law doesn't apply to me. I've heard white women say this shit. A southern white woman, or a woman from a centralized state that has a culture of the Confederacy, the white supremacist South. So if you grade her as a man, let's grade her as a black man. Or as a black woman. Sonya Massey just says, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Bam, bam, bam. Got shot the fuck up. Just for saying, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Not getting in a car, not driving erratically, not, you know, cussing up a storm and being fucking nuts and lying and like how many lies was she just spitting out there? So it's incredible that a white woman would think that the law doesn't apply to her. Well, have you been getting away with your fucking crimes? Is that why you think the law doesn't apply to you? How entitled of a Karen does a white woman have to be to think that the law doesn't apply to her? She ran into the cop's car and then said, hey, don't turn this around on me. How many times has she just used her mouth and just kept talking and kept being a dick and kept provoking? And you know, if she got her way, they arrested her, but if she keeps provoking and you're like, well, you know what, you're a bitch. It's like, well, you just called her a bitch. So, you know, basically all bets are off. All the crimes that she committed for the last fucking hour, the last, 15 years doesn't even matter. You said she is being a bitch. Now, I don't like to be sexist, so we're going to call her an asshole, because an asshole there's no gender attached to it. Everybody can be an asshole. That's basically what a bitch means in my mind, is that it's a female asshole. You're being a jerk, you're being an asshole, you're being a criminal. So, but my point is, provoke, and then, oh shit, he just called me a bitch, so I gotta go home now. You know, she's going to keep on doing shit until she can walk away, until she get away with all this fucking shit. Because the law doesn't apply to Kayla. That is entitled. How fucking entitled is that? And then she ran into the cop car. All Sonya Massey said was, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. After dealing with this dumbass southern fucking Karen bullshit, please give me a Sonya Massey. I would love a Sonya Massey. You're just going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus in a nice, sweet, calm, and even-handed tone? You rebuke me, honey, with all that you want. And then, being a man, I got to think about this shit 50 different fucking ways. If you're stuck in this situation, Bill Burr says, run into the bathroom and call the police. I heard a woman was like, yeah, that's right. You run into the bathroom. And it's like, you're a fucking gangster. You're a mafioso fucking criminal motherfucker. So, I also saw this one thing where the guy just takes the woman hits her, the woman hits him, and he takes her and then throws her on the couch. That sounds to me fair, because, you don't want to slug them, but then until what fucking point? I saw this other one where the woman takes a crowbar and busts out the window of his car, and then the guy just came and just started punching her, like hard. And, it looked like it hurt. It looked like, it hurt. But she's took a fucking, a goddamn crowbar and busted out and destroyed his property and shit. He's trying to drive away. So, I feel like you have to be, as a man, you got to, play this so fucking straight. You got to be fucking perfect all the way, from the beginning to the end. And so somebody had once told me that if the person's out of control, you would just have to hold them down on the ground until they get a hold of themselves, until they calm down. And then she keeps contradicting them a whole bunch of times. And let's see here. And then she's like, oh my God, she said, I hate you one time. I hate you. You're an abuser. You know that, don't you? So she's just trying to fucking provoke it. So if like the cop just smacks her, you shut the hell up. Well, he might get into trouble, right? Excessive force or some shit. So he's got to keep his calm. He's got to be cool as a cucumber and then just make the arrest. And then even when they went to put her into the back seat of the car, the guy shoves her. And then she says, "You piece of shit." And then her dress straps are falling off of her, right? So she's acting like, "Look what you're doing to me." And he keeps on saying, "You're not touching me. You need to keep him away from me. You need to stay away from me," as if that cop has been abusing her whole life. You just met that cop. So to sit there and be like, "You're not touching me," like he's sexually assaulting her or some shit. He's making an arrest, right? And so cops can be awful, especially when they get the situation wrong. But I'm glad that this Kayla got arrested. I mean, Kayla gets to go through the same criminal justice system, and actually she'll still get a damn break. But criminals will keep on being criminals until they're stopped. And we're going to that nice, peaceful husband, we're going to wait for that nice, peaceful husband to wrestle with her down on the ground and hold her until she gets a hold of her. What if she doesn't get a hold of herself? What if he wrestles her down after he got attacked and she keeps fucking going? I guess everybody at some point in time could just walk away, you walk away, and you walk away. "Get him away from me. Keep him away from me. Don't let him near me." Starts crying. She said something about victim shaming me. Then they just started victim shaming me. "Oh, look, you're the victim. Is that what you're doing? That's my sister. Don't let him touch her," like she's protecting her. "You're the one that brought your little sister into the shit. And how many times have they done this?" She's like, "You don't understand. I've never been anything like that. Liar, liar, liar. Fucking pants on fire, you pants on fire motherfucker. I've never seen anything like this bullshit. She called you up and you knew exactly you've been here before. You were doing your same dumb shit. And then you heard what the cop said. He says, when you're here, I'm focused on you." Well, yeah, that's the point. I wanted to distract you. You look at me, and then she could just fucking drive on home and she'll be safe. So cops arrest violent people, especially if the violence happens right in front of them. I'm not a huge fan of the police, but they get it right sometimes. So I'm glad that this entitled, terrorizing, oppressing criminal motherfucker was arrested. She almost just struck Olivia. They later on said that she allegedly tried to run over Olivia. Allegedly, it's wanton endangerment. It was wanton endangerment. You hear the screaming of the little sister, the 25-year-old sister in the background. And then no telling how many, not only these two, how many people have they fucked with, but how many times has the big sister probably been abusive to the little sister for years? And then finally got the big sister to like her, and so it's like, "Oh, good, I've been trying to win you over forever." And then, but now she's, a piece of shit just like her bigger sister. Olivia, the female cop, was scared. I once heard that women are scared of, if we could have a society where women don't get hit by men or raped by men, then they would feel just, 100% better. This is so great. This is so wonderful. So it's interesting that when a female is sitting there provoking a man, like, you don't want to hit her, you don't want to, assault her. But when you have a female cop that's on board, well, look how it's totally different. It's totally different. She can't just say, "You're sexually assaulting me. You're just trying to, get with me." So Kayla backs up, nearly hits the woman cop, kind of, drives close to her. So that's wanton endangerment. That's a fucking felony. And then drives forward like she was going to take off, but just kind of parks. Drives back. They said they hit two cruisers. I don't know. I guess she hit the guy when she drove back. It didn't look, I didn't see any damage or whatever, but if they said it, maybe it's true. I wouldn't doubt it. But we definitely saw her like rammed into the car in front of her. And if she was trying to get away, she should have just drove over the curb. But apparently driving well isn't her forte. Then when she's cornered, right, when she's had, she still doesn't submit. They bust the fucking window. She like climbs to the other seat and then climbs back into the front seat. And then she's get on the ground like, "No, I'm not going to get on the ground." Looks like she's going to cooperate, and then she doesn't cooperate. She just keeps trying these brand new, "I'm just a little girl. I'm just a little girl. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to wanton endanger and hit people and imprison them falsely." She tries to get the woman on her side. "You don't understand and you know what? I bet you she has gone through some shit. I mean, how else would you be such a total piece of shit? I bet your mother's a piece of shit. I bet her father's a piece of shit. I bet all her fucking cousins are pieces of shit. I bet you she lives in a piece of shit fucking neighborhood. But because she's been a bully her whole life, that's how she's always gotten her way. So she gets to bully men, she gets to bully women, and then people are like, wow, you know, if you're a weak woman, you might look at Kayla as like she's a strong woman and just admire her. At the end, she's like, you're gross, you sicko. You're gross, you're a sicko. And then the woman cop says, do you want me to fix your dress for you? You want me to fix your dress for you? Yeah, will ya? And then, can you get me out of this? No, look what you did. What are you saying? You're a woman too. Are we allowed to just get away with shit? She's making it sound like he's being a pervert or something. Like the only reason he showed up to the scene was to... You're an abuser, she alleges, but she's the abuser. She probably should lose her kid. And ultimately, children are catch and release anyway, so he's his own person. At 18, she should want him to fly high, get his own wife and home and career and picket fence, maybe a garden with some peppers and tomatoes. So, what kind of mother is this? How many times is she going to lie to that kid? How many, this is supposed to look like, oh, I just want to be with my son, I just want to be with my kid, I just want to be with him, and that's all I want. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. You're using him to be a fucking psycho. You're using him to fucking manipulate other people. There's a book called Manipulated Man by Esther Viller, and she says so many incredible things. Esther Viller's Manipulated Man is one of the greatest books. It opened my eyes up so much, because growing up with a Kayla, you might just end up believing all her lies. You grow up with a Kayla, you'll just believe her lies. There's nothing like a woman getting the respect of another woman. And then a woman likes trivial bullshit, high heels, makeup, and then they'll love it when another trivial bullshit loves her shit too. But women also don't like other women, so there's no telling who she's been bullying like that her entire life. Start doing the shit, commit the crime, start the crime, escalate it, provoke, and then when she's not getting her way, to recruit other folks to be on her side. Hey, you over there, males, females, anybody, get over here. I'm acting crazy and criminal to him, and he doesn't like it, and he keeps saying, she shut up to me, and I don't know why he's saying shut up to me, because you're being a fucking criminal motherfucker. If we were just to sit here and talk rationally, do we get anywhere? Do we convince you logically? If this is the mother, just think about how the son is going to turn out. If he believes her bullshit. She gets to act crazy to him because he once loved her. That stupid man. Look at that man over there, that jerk. And then we're just supposed to go along with this shit like it's okay. And then she wants the love of man. She wants the love of man. And she isn't going to tell her female friends that, so she's sitting there being a dick to man. And she wants love, being loved by him too. The man once adored her, and she loved being loved by him. But she isn't going to tell that fact to her female friends. She's always in control. She's got to have all the power. She shits on men, and she gets her female friends to join in on the shit. Look at him loving me and caring about me and shit. Fuck you. When I think about Kamala Harris, which, should I make a part 2? I should make a part 2 of this. When I think about Kamala Harris and having to stand up to Putin and stand up to Netanyahu, she isn't going to stand up to Putin and Netanyahu. She might be able to do it from the Oval Office, but she isn't going to do it face to face. She'll have to have a bodyguard. She'll have to have a man or a Tim Walz right there. She'll have to. But she'll shit on Doug. She'll roll her eyes at Doug, treat Doug like shit. You ain't nothing, Doug. And Doug seems like a great guy, so, most of the time I bet you, even if she gets it, she was going to get her way anyways, most of the time. But it's easy to shit on your husband, but to actually stand up against a man who doesn't really love you or care about you and he's willing to defend himself, she can't stand up to him. You got to understand this is a lot for me. I'll keep on. I got some more comments. I'm going to make a part 2 of this.